Apologize for that. Silence there. Had to blow my nose. Ooh. Unfortunately, the bridge is down, but we get to go do the cool teleporting, respawning thing with our heads and our safes, and it's kind of really gross, and you... But yeah, last time, you saw we... Oh yeah, before you leave the foyer, and before you jump down this hole, you might as well heal, because there's no way back up, and it, you know... You may not have much health, missing like I did just there, but you may as well heal. There's no reason not to. Well, unfortunately, I spoiled the rocket launcher. There is that. But here, the soldier, which is an ex-soldier who was put in here and interacted with your daughter, so we have to kill him. And he... Oh, jeez. Hear that? My neck cracked. He is a sadist, basically. Only, instead of having the chainsaw, he starts with a rocket launcher, and then has the chainsaw about halfway through, give or take. Thankfully, our daughter's memory dissolves the weird flesh goo webbing there. There are daughter's notes scattered throughout here. I remember having to like hide and run and be careful throughout this whole place. Man, this DLC's so fun. It's a shame it's only like, if you know what you're doing, and it's New Game Plus, it lasts like an hour. It sucks. I wish it was significant. I mean, Kidman's DLC takes like 4 to 6 hours, depending on how, if you know what you're doing. Here, I mean, you upgrade the speed, and you can complete it in under an hour, knowing what you're doing. I mean, in Kidman's DLC, it takes 4 hours knowing what you're doing. It sucks. I hate it. Because Kidman's DLC isn't that fun. This DLC is super fun. I'm full. It's fair. Oh. It's annoying. I have to wait for that to go back. Pretty sure I'll die if I touch that or get really hurt. Thankfully, this switch stops them all. They go to the wall, and then they stop. There'd be a daughter's note right down there, but, you know, I already picked it up. Hey, didn't notice that there last time. Well, there's a save too for one upgrade, but look at this, all the bombs drop. I pretty much upgraded everything I want. I'm not going to use the chainsaw or the other side weapons really, even if they do dish out more damage. I'm just fine with a hammer. So it's interesting. This guy's like, oh, all these super grunts. I'm not even getting tired. It's weird. I got ammo out their ass. Blah blah blah. I'm a stupid soldier man who was probably dishonorably discharged because I turned into an RPG sadist. Now, this guy's a bit annoying because his RPG is a special RPG. You know how in games they're like, oh, here's a shotgun variety weapon and it shoots in 3, 1 forward and 2 to the right and left. Well, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, in an arc of 3. Yeah, his rocket launcher does that too. So just stand in between when he hits. More defense too. When he shoots, dodge to the little, and then he takes a second to reload. Wait for the bullets, wait for the rockets to go, and then hit him a bit. Oh, such a tough guy. Fortunately, the enemies all around. Oh yeah. This guy with the red there, I started it earlier, but I forgot to mention. You remember in Kidman's DLC, the corp dudes that explode? That are blind, but will explode if they hear stuff? That's, they turn into those when they die. It's not fun. Well, when they die, if you defeat them, if you don't execute them, or like throw them against spikes or something fancy, oh, I did not deserve to survive that. See, he gets fed up. Unfortunately, when he changes forms, he is pretty much invincible. I have to fight this guy. You see, if you execute him, or I guess throw him against spikes, probably, he won't turn into one of the explodey dudes. But if you just attack him regularly and kill him regularly, he does, which is annoying. And a half an annoying. Good few coins from him. Gotten a lot of coins. Probably upgrade stuff, but unfortunately, it takes a lot of coins to upgrade stuff. Like, just to unlock some of the later weapons. Little flesh wall, it's gross. Just to unlock some of the later weapons, it takes like 200 coins to unlock. Like the weapon you get from the final boss takes some. There's the second portal right there in the background to the second battle arena. I forget to show them off, but you know, whatever. It's just a room with enemies that spawn. Nothing fancy. Like this golden hammer took 200 coins alone. I think 200, 200 or 300. But with this hammer, you can grind the final area, the final battle arena. Let's see, here's this guy. That guy's the battle arena. The final battle arena, not that one. That one's 2. The third one. You grind that a bit because you can take out a few of the bosses. Oh wait, yeah, there's another one of the bosses that it's a boss rush, but I think some of the bosses don't show up because it would be difficult for them to be defeated. I do know one of these gross things. I feel like every time our person, the guy who's in here in control of the keeper does this, he loses a little more of himself into the stab. You know, he's essentially killing himself. But whatever. Unfortunately, oh look, an invisible enemy. Oh what? Oh man, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be annoying. How are we gonna fight him? Oh, how about I use my super Spidey sense, my keeper sense. This doesn't really make sense. Every new addition to the game, from the main game. In the main game, I don't even think you had a way to see these guys. Well, the only way you had to see them was... I should have thrown them in the things back there. The only way you had to see those dudes was to, like, see them stepping in puddles or rattling cans. And then shoot the invisible space where you think they would be. Apologies. The phone just rang. Yeah, in the main game, you had to look at cans and puddles. In Kidman's DLC, you had to shine a light on them, which wasn't too bad. In this DLC, you just press a button and then smash their face on. Now, the Amalgam. In the main game, this guy gave me a lot of grief because if he got close to you, he would instant kill you. Doesn't matter your health, doesn't matter your damage, doesn't matter anything. If he got close to you, he would grab you and boom, you die. And it was so aggravating. It made me so pissed. Here he is a pushover. Because he throws a car at you, you throw it back, and it booms in his face, and you do it like 8 times and he's dead. And it's so satisfying. It feels so good, girl. I love it. Just the ability to just destroy this dude who caused me... Well, unfortunately the car physics is really weird. But the ability to just mess him up so good, and it was so satisfying. Yeah, even though the car exploded behind me and hit me, I felt bad. That doesn't physically make sense. It's messing me up. If someone like shoots you in the back, you don't go oh and fall backwards. No, you go forwards. The force of the explosion. If a grenade exploded behind you, don't go oh and fall backwards. It's stupid. So the hammer doesn't do too much damage to this guy. Cars are pretty much the main way you're supposed to kill him. It's not tough. I mean, he's not that tough. Nowhere near as tough as he was in the main game. Get a car down, you can smack him a good bit, save a car or two. Which is good because the cars are limited in this arena. Said that weird. That was weird. And you have to wait for him to smack at you before you can smack it back and make it go boom. And I see the guy on the floor there is gonna explode. It turned into one of the exploded dudes. I think I did it. Oh gosh, what is happening? Not quite sure what happened there. I might be able to take this guy out before. Yeah. I like the idea of this boss, how he is like a John Carpenter's The Thinking Monster, which is most of the enemies in this game, but I hated how Like, if you've seen any of my main game videos, you know how much I hate a lot of stuff in the game because it's instant kill or kills you in like 2 or 3 hits. And it's all. By the way, I played through everything, all the DLC in the main game on the easiest difficulty, and half the bosses still instant killed me left and right. It was stupid. The next phase. So the last test subtext is you. So we need to kill ourselves? How does that work, you may ask? It is a very good question indeed. As you continue, oh, what's this? What? Oh, that's the guy that made the Scientist. That's the murdererman. What's in here? What? Joseph? So I don't know this. I don't think this DLC is canon. And if it is, I don't know how it works. Maybe they can explain it to be like, oh, this guy came around and... Because you know how in Kidman's DLC, you traveling through, like, this building, like, these several buildings, was like her just standing there. Maybe him fighting Sebastian, or whatever, was just actually him fighting him, or whatever, in the main game. That door's probably Sebastian's, but, you know, it's kind of blocked. It'd be cool if that was unblocked in the New Game Plus, and you could actually see Sebastian in there. I don't know why that guy's Amalgorithm. The Amalgorithm dude is like multiple people. He's watching blah blah blah. Interesting. And there's me. That's me. I wonder who the final boss is. I can't just fight myself, can I? Here's the final arena. That one's the final execution chamber. That one's tough. I don't think Amalgorithm is in there because it takes place in the car park, but there's not cars to push around. Just making sure I'm full up on stuff I want. You see, here's rocket launcher. I can't buy the max rocket launcher ammo, unfortunately. Which like strategy guides say, oh, make sure you max out to 10 rocket launcher rockets or whatever the max is before you attempt it, and I'm like, well, I literally can't. Like, it won't. Like, there's no max. Like, I don't have the max. I need to beat the chamber to get the max. But you're saying in order to beat the chamber, I need the max. It's a paradox. In order to obtain the thing, I need to accomplish a task. But in order to accomplish the task, I need the object. How does that... It doesn't work like that, guys. One last time. We're now in no going backs land. And unfortunately, this next part's a little tough. Because there is instant killage in this next section. One of my favorite things about this DLC? No speech. Editing this is gonna be as fun and easy as plain it is. And by that I mean better than the other DLC in the main game. Fortunately, there's our daughter, but what? Shadow Keeper? What is this? A water temple? But instead of water, it's blood. I bet you can't guess who the final boss is. I don't know. It's us. We have to fight ourselves. Ugh, jeez. Freaking allergies or something. Interesting. That's a lot of cubes. Now, this boss isn't in the executionable chamber, thankfully. Because the only way to kill him is to hold that off for just a minute until it shows up. As it does show it. Dark Keeper. That's pretty cool. So we're in this place, the one encountering of the Keeper. So we have to squish him. And you have to do it 3 times to defeat him. And you can damage him with like rockets or your hammer or whatever, but it does almost no damage. It's not worth it at all. It is worth it, however, to upgrade those traps to carry more. I like how the upgrades for a lot of the like throwable stuff isn't, oh, it increases duration or it increases snare chance. It's just like, no, do you want to hold more? Yeah? Here you go. So the best strategy for this is to have him, because he can run, is to trap him and then smash his brain in. Unfortunately, after doing it 2 times, something bad happens. Oh, something bad has happening right now. So, oh, what's happening to me? In order to save your daughter, you must defeat yourself. Kind of a dick move on Mobius's part. It's like, oh, we captured your daughter and put her in the stem. You have to go in and save her. But you have to kill yourself in order to save her. It's like, wow, you guys are assholes. So I guess, I don't know. I really don't think this DLC is canon. Because I don't know how it can match up to, oh, hello. How it matches up to the main game. It doesn't make sense. But he walks slowly, he slashes, he does a fair amount of damage. See, he doesn't do too much damage, but he can hit a lot. Which makes it difficult. See if I can get him here, set another trap. Unfortunately, if you die, you don't respawn, you don't restock on traps. It sucks, it really does. It's so annoying, because what if you fail multiple times? You have to just lure him over there, because once he gets like right under it, he'll sprint towards you or something. He'll do something that will avoid it, just avoid the spikes and like slash you up, and it's so annoying. Those spikes are really the only way to do it. Now we're on the last phase. We take him out one more time. Unfortunately, he summons, look at this, oh, that's so cool. That's cooler than this game deserves, honestly. Unfortunately, he summons these damn things, which it doesn't feel like you have enough time here. If they touch you, you just have to run around a little bit to avoid them, because he's in, well, the area you saw. If those things touch you, you die instantly. That is the worst part of this DLC, because, like I said, I'm playing this on casual. If you're playing a game on casual difficulty, on the easiest difficulty, you should not have anything that instant kills you. Unless it's like something environmental, like, hey, this building falls on you if you don't run fast enough. If you don't get to the next area fast enough, you die. Alright, fine. That makes sense for that to instant kill you. But not to, like, hey, this spike's coming up from the ground, instant kill you. No, maybe take down like half my health, but not instant kill me. Get trapped. I don't know how he got out of that. Some wizardry magic. So, ooh, bad damage, bad damage. Get hurt. Yeah, you dumb. Unfortunately, he's blocking the path, which makes this completely useless. Yeah, it takes a fair amount of damage, but not enough to warrant and justify it. Where are you, guy? Yeah, I hate that section. It doesn't make it makes the game loses its scare factor when you have to do that constantly. When you have to redo a fight for like half an hour, because after a couple minutes of fighting, you just die from instant kill because the enemy touched you or just got just close enough to you. When the mobility factor of this game, I'm going back to the algorithm fight. When the mobility of the game isn't like super agile, run around, jump, parkour, when it's clunky, kind of stiff, and not all around great, the fact where you have to run around and dodge an enemy before it insta kills you, and if it touches you and it's super agile but you're not, and it'll just insta kill you, it's so bad. It's not great. If they didn't make it like that, if they made it to where, like, hey, here's this pretty obvious attack, I'm winding up, I can only go forward, and if you're somehow in that range, I'll insta-kill you, I'm like, alright, fine. I deserve that. But if you're just running towards me, and your model and everything is so undetermined on how, like, it's so unclear of how one move is compared to another, fine, I'll stem thing. If your one attack looks like 80% the same to my attack that makes you instant die, then it's not fair. And the fact that he'll like attack and then get into like a settle animation, like in the animation to start a new one for like a new attack or something, and then that ends up insta killing you. It's just, it's aggravating. It's like how in like a jump scare, like say FNAF, Five Nights at the Freddy's. If you play like a later night or like one of the last nights, and you just die constantly after like 2 minutes of gameplay, the jump scares stop being scary. Because you're like, alright, I'm not even scared, I'm just angry that it's not working anymore. But besides that, instant kill, whatnot, I love this DLC. Hands down the best DLC in the game. Hands down better than the main game. In multiple ways, it had a better story, even though the main game had something resembling a story. Bethesda, just why? I love what you were thinking. It's just the execution of this game was kind of lackluster. I had fun for the most part, but people may be wondering like, well, if you complain so much, why'd you buy it and why are you playing it? The point is, I had expectations that it was going to be like classic survival horror, Resident Evil type games, and the first third or so of the main game kind of delivered. But then it really went downhill, where you had to shoot guys who were shooting at you, and you had to barrel through dozens of enemies because they're literally in your way, and that's the only way to get through. And then everything instant kills you, even on the easiest difficulty, and you can't escape. Well, you have to follow this pattern. You have to do this thing in this boss. Like, one of the early chapters in the main game is the village, and there's multiple ways you can go around. There's little hidden areas. You can totally miss certain items. You can totally miss certain items, and it was great because you could go around, take out some dudes. Oh, if you got caught, go hide, run around, kill some more dudes, and then well, I have to shoot now. Compared to the late game where there was more than one way to accomplish a task in the early game, compared to later in the game where there wasn't. And I would have, I don't know. I expect more from the sequel. Story-wise, gameplay-wise, all around, I expect more from the sequel. I liked what they were going with. I liked the idea. I just wish it was better. The reason I'm so hard on this game, the reason I'm so aggravated by it is because I know it could have been better. And I know if it was better, it could have been big. Like, it could have been a new Resident Evil 4. Like, it feels like a spiritual successor to it, and it gets some things right, and then it goes really wrong. But yeah. It's just, it makes me upset because I like this game. I do. And I'm so upset because I know this game could have been way better if it was worked on and thought more thoroughly. But the fact that they let it slip with instant kill enemies on easy difficulty, clunky controls, just all around lack of story. They sacrifice story for, oh, look at this, you're walking down a hallway, you're falling down a hole, now you're running down the hallway. What's this crazy monster? Ooh, it's crazy and scary, right? Look at all this flesh, blah. It's disappointing, I guess. I don't know. I like the game. Check it out if you get a chance. If it's on discount, discounted. Check it out.